Happy Thursday and welcome to On the Move with Nan and Cam. And I'm kind of loving, we haven't had a virtual guest in here yet.
I
And
know.
look at how close we get to sit to each other without a guest in
I had to
between
pull
us.
your seat in because I was like, they need to see both of us. And like she said, what you got on, we look kind of comfortable.
We are comfortable.
Get
It's
the
a little
little
rainy,
lean
rainy,
in.
cozy day up here. And today we're joined by Keya Wingfield. Welcome, Keya.
Hi, thank you for having me. And I want to squeeze in the middle there. Like, give
You
me
could. You
You could.
absolutely could. If you were, we wish you were here. But Keya is joining us because she is doing the 10K. She is a super prominent Richmonder in the food space. You might know her from
Candy Valley Cake Company.
Candy Valley Cake Company. And then also Keya Snacks, which are out. When did Keya Snacks come out? When was your first release?
Oh gosh, KF Snacks launched official, like the relaunch happened mid-January this year, but we've been selling the product for almost 3 years now.
Okay.
Mhm.
I feel like in the last year, I've seen it like popping up everywhere as you get like more and more distributors. And I'm like, have a real hard time not buying them anytime I see them.
We actually tasted them on at the River City Half. I got into the car with Ashley and Nan, and they were like, "Here you go, try both of these. Which one do you think's better?" And I was like, I tried both of them, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I can't pick a better. I think they're both really good. I was like, I'm not sure. But also I run, I don't know if you know, I run our social media, and you tag us every year when you do the 10K. How many times have you done it?
I think 5 times.
Yeah, I feel like it's been
Yeah.
a good amount of I mean, obviously this will be my third,
Yeah.
third.
I think it's your third.
It's third.
Yeah, third
year.
10K. Okay.
Yeah. And you've tagged us every year since I've been here. So yeah, I was like, this girl, she does it. I know she does.
Yeah, I told her when we had our meeting, I was like, as soon as I said your name, Cameron was like, oh, I know exactly who that is.
Yeah, I know who it is.
That sounds scary
It's a
though.
good
I know
thing.
that is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's because you're so interesting. You have so many things going on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, look at this girl go.
I know.
Busy. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, busy bee. Yeah, always.
Love that about you.
Just give us a little bit of background about how your active living journey started.
Oh, good question. So, I've always been chunky my whole life. I feel like I was
Same.
born, that way, and it has always been a struggle, and it kind of carried its way into teenagehood and adulthood, and just kind of stayed around no matter what I did. I would gain and lose the same 10 pounds every year, and nothing ever changed. I remember doing my very first 10K. I think it was 2009, maybe. I cannot remember, but I joined the YMCA training team because that is the only way that I could sort of feel like I could get in, like try. Because growing up, like this wasn't really a part of our life. I didn't have the examples of working out or going to the gym all the time, and it was more of a foreign concept to be active in that way. So it is very intimidating to do a 10K.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? That sounds crazy. So that's how that got started.
We're both products of the YMCA 10K training team as well. And I mean, I think I'm a casual runner who is running maybe like 3 or 4 miles at a time in normal life. And it's funny, even when you've done further distances, it's that 6 miles, even though like realistically, I know I could do 6 miles.
Hmm.
Anybody can do 6 miles. It does sound daunting. Like it doesn't, and even if you have experience, sometimes if you're not trained up, it sounds daunting. YMCA 10K training team was like a great tool for me to kind of like make that more like bite-sized chunks.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely makes it seem more attainable when you're doing it that way and like week by week. I will say that like my sister last week, we work out together in the mornings, and she was like, when does it become easier? Like when did it get easier for you? And I was like, it really, with any exercise, I wouldn't say it gets easier. You just get like better at it,
Mm.
and you are like able to push your brain.
I was
like,
going to say, it's like, you know what
further.
you're capable of is
Right.
what it is for me, is more like
Right.
once I do something a few times, then like the intimidation factor of like, I can't do this is gone. You don't have to look cute doing it
Right.
or it doesn't have to feel easy,
Yeah.
but you know it.
Yeah, in your brain, you're like, well, I did 3 last week. I can do 3.5 this week. It's
Yeah.
not going to be easy, but it's like I've done it before, so I know I can keep doing it. So yeah, definitely like when you like using training to get into something is always the best way to
Yeah.
like start. What do you think was the most positive, like had the most positive effect on your weight loss journey and your like fitness journey?
I think it's a mindset shift, to be honest. Like because it's a mental game, regardless of how you view it. And it's interesting that you brought up the word easy because I had to get rid of that word.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
because the thing is that staying quote unquote heavier was uneasy, and
Yes.
working out was uneasy. I had to pick my pain, if you will. And just because it's harder to work out doesn't mean you have to suffer through it.
Right.
I had to shift the way I looked at movement. It wasn't punishment, or it wasn't something I'm doing because I ate something. It was just a standalone effort because my body needed it. And that mindset shift changed everything for me.
Yeah. And I will say that I've always thought of it that way too, because it is hard to wake up every day and be like, I don't like how I look, but it's hard to get in the gym and be like, this is freaking hard. You just gotta, I mean, life is not
Yeah.
easy. So you just gotta pick what you're gonna do and looking at it as like a lifestyle change and not being like, I'm on a diet and just
Yeah.
changing to like, I
Yeah.
want to eat healthier for longevity and like make sure that I'm healthier in my life as I get older instead of trying to trick yourself into eat something you don't want to eat.
Yeah. I also feel like results are great and they happen naturally, but that was also something that like when I first started getting active of like was something that I had to also change my mindset on a little bit was like you're not going to see results in like
No.
2 weeks.
No.
Like
Right.
yeah, exactly.
I think
Um
it's the results based working out also kind of sets us up for failure, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
My biggest tagline is discipline over motivation, because motivation sets me up to fail. Discipline sets me up for the sure thing. Whether I do it every day or not, it's not about that. It's about just that shift again.
Yeah. Not everybody's going to be motivated at 5 o'clock in the morning to get
No.
up
That's
and go
okay.
work out.
Yeah. So
No.
what? Yeah.
If you make yourself do it, then it's like, well, I did it. I'm done. Now I can go on about my day.
Yeah, you're good at that. I'm still stuck in that 5 p.m. rut right now. Maybe I'll get back to my
Yeah.
mornings.
I can't. I can't go and late in the afternoons. There's too many people.
You're really combining you as the guest today is combining like two of Cameron and I's biggest loves because while we love being physically active, we love to eat.
Love food.
We
Love
love
eating.
food.
Yep.
So have you always been a chef? And then how did you go about starting your businesses?
No, I have not always been a chef. I was a useless teenager. I did nothing. I never paid attention to anything. I didn't want to study. I had no clue what I was going to do in life. I was going to be a lawyer, then an ad person, and this and that. And I was always pulled in many directions. Chefing was not on the radar by any means. But when I moved here from Bombay, so I was born and raised in Bombay. I
Okay.
moved to Richmond almost 20 years ago. When I moved here, I saw an oven for the first time. I was like, wait, what is this box in the kitchen?
That's
Because my
crazy.
fiance at the time, my husband now, he was storing cereal boxes in there.
Love
And so
that.
I thought it's a cabinet with some knobs on it. I'm like, it's America. You just don't know what you're gonna find here. Like it's like
no.
Right.
normal. All right. So, but I discovered that it's an oven you can bake things in. And I'm like, oh,
Watch
this is
out.
this is a problem. And I obviously got bit by the bug, and I taught myself how to bake. The only kind of drawback on my end was I didn't have those recipes, like my grandmother's recipe, or
Yeah.
like there was nothing to fall back on. So I had to kind of create my own traditions, if you will. So that's how the whole chefing thing kind of came into play. I'm also Gujarati, the ethnicity that I belong to in India, and we are sugar fiends. Like we love sugar. We put it in everything. We're just one of those people. Like, give us some wine and I'll put some sugar in it. Uh,
Hey,
it's
me.
bad. Don't
Yeah.
Me.
That's
so
Cam.
our secret, yeah. But it's super bad. So that's kind of also what's a part of my heritage and my DNA. I was meant to be on this journey.
Have you, so when you were on, because tell us about the show that you were on.
Hmm. I was on Spring Baking Championship season 7 on Food Network.
That's so cool. I love to bake. So that's like, I love
She
watching.
does.
I bake all the time. So I'm like, I feel like when I found your page and I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, I love to bake. So tell us, well, I was going to ask, did you live here when you went on the show or like, how did that?
Yeah, I've been in Richmond since I moved here, so I feel like I've earned my Richmonder stripes at this point.
Right.
Uh,
Yes, definitely.
yeah. So I shot that show in 2020 in September. Yes, I very much was in Richmond at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I find it even more when you say you had like the setback of like you didn't have your grandmother's recipes or anything like that to go off of. Clearly, that became an asset to you because you have
Right.
had, you were in the position to have to make your own. And then I feel like, you were so creative and were hugely successful that, yeah, I
Sure.
don't think that was a bad thing necessarily. You got to
No.
Right.
fully be Kia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the 10K, you said your first one was in 2009. So that's not like your 5 consecutive that you've done recently. What has been your favorite memory of the 10K overall? Like any time that you've done it?
You know, the last one that I did, I think it was 2 years ago, where because that was the one that is very pivotal. It kind of changed completely. That's the one that I hate to say it this way, but that's the one that stuck, if you will.
Mhm.
Right.
Since then, I have not yo-yoed the whole 10 pounds on, 10 pounds off. I managed to lose 85 pounds and
It's
kept going.
That's
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
And that's the one that kind of started that because I remember walking that one and I slapped a sign on my back that said, doing it for myself. Because for the first time, I prioritized myself, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a wife, or whatever. Everything else comes first.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're at the end of the line if you make it there. So that had to change in a big way.
Yeah, I feel like that's another it's always like your mind. It's like what can you make your mind do? And once you figure out the
True.
mindset part, then you're set. But
Yeah.
it's not as easy as it sounds. Like it's like, oh,
No.
think
Yeah.
differently and then it'll work. But once you actually do like get your mind to be like, I'm doing this for me, then you're
Yeah.
like, you're conquering the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because unless you fill your cup, you cannot fill others.
Right.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't work.
So we don't want to give away what you're going. Well, we are going to end up giving it away, but not yet. What you're going to do for your costume in the next question. That's part of my question. But how did you make the shift from you went totally different from sweets to the savory world to
Mhm.
chips?
Mhm.
And what was that process like creating your chips?
So the dessert business is still up and running. It's kind of on autopilot, and then there's like two origin stories here. One is I married a white guy, and he didn't like Indian food. So I'm like, what am I going to do with you? I can't divorce you over this. I've got to find a
Good.
way, right? Uh, Man, these Richmond men. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? So that's how these chips came to life. I used to make this Bombay blend, the spice blend that's on the chips for myself all the time because I was so homesick. I'd put it on tacos and pasta and eggs and potatoes, salad. Um,
You're like,
Anything.
Anything I could because I was so homesick. And I'm like, what if I took my husband's favorite snack, which is just a basic salted potato chip, put it on there and gave it to him? And he loved it. He loved it. That's how he learned to eat Indian food. That's how he learned to eat any cultural food. It sort of opened up his palate. It was a massive aha moment for me. I'm like, oh, this is how you can bridge the gap, a
Yeah.
soft introduction into culture,
right.
um, and complex flavors that seem out of reach are now within reach. So that's kind of how they came to life. However, in 2020, my thriving dessert business, the bottom fell out because we did a lot of corporate events and things like that.
Yeah.
And I pivoted to making modern Indian to go meals, modern Indian American to go meals. And with those meals, I would send teeny little bags of masala chips as a thank you for letting me pivot. And a week later, customers are calling to order just the chips. And the first call I
Awesome.
got, I'm like, what? What do you want? Because I
Right.
forgot, right? I forgot that we were even doing that because it was just such a side thing. And I'm like, okay, you want the chips. Okay, sure. So we just gave him a bigger bag and he's like, no, no, I want more. I'm like, what's going on here?
You're like, I'm not doing that yet, please.
I'm like, what are you talking about? So overnight, we had to learn how to figure out how to put up a CPG product and make it shelf stable and package it and all that. So that's how these came to life. Yeah,
The
completely.
packaging is gorgeous. I
It is
love the
very cute.
packaging.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, I am so like pink.
Yeah.
I want that. I'm like, whatever type of chip that is, I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
I love
I
it.
think is like
Super smart.
that'll make me buy it.
I'm also really cracking up thinking about Cameron. We both do love Indian food, but Cameron is a little bit of a picky eater, just hasn't tried a bunch of things. And I'm like, what if I just started getting flavorings of things and putting them on chips and being like,
Right.
now olive flavoring. You don't like those olives. Now you love
Yeah.
olives.
And then I just am like olive chips, maybe.
You need to hang out
That's
around.
so cool.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever flavor I'll be a taste tester. You come out with a new flavor,
Me
send it to
too.
me.
Not just her.
Yeah, me.
Listen, if I can convert my husband, I got everybody. All
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Yeah. Like, no shade on him, right? He just did not grow up with those kind of flavors. You know, it was
Right.
not a part of his life in any way. So it's just no shame in that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people haven't. And I think it's people that haven't, it's also are guilty sometimes if you're not like an adventurous eater too, of like not knowing it. So also then in your mindset, you're like, I don't like that.
Gross. Yeah.
Or like, yeah. And then you're like, have you actually tried it? And people are like, no.
Yeah.
You're like perpetual 5-year-olds. You know, like, no, I don't like that. I'm like, but you don't haven't even tried it.
Yeah.
Right. That's me. I'm 5. I do that all the time. I'll be like, I don't like those. And they're like, oh, like, what kind did you try? And I'll be like, I did it, but it doesn't look like. But since working
Good to
here,
know.
they've gotten me to try like a ton of things since working here. And sometimes I actually like stuff.
Yeah, she tried a fried green tomato at lunch for the first time the other day.
Wasn't bad. They've gotten me to try olives. I've tried a raspberry since working here. Never had that before. Which is crazy. They were like, oh my gosh, you never had a raspberry?
She was a camp counselor for children. I'm like, how did you not have a raspberry?
Well, they just gave us the snacks. I didn't get to choose.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
What happened? What?
Well, I was a picky eater as a child, and so my mom was like, I'm not buying that for you to waste it. And I was fair. So it makes sense now. It makes sense because I'm like, I mean, if I knew my kid was just gonna not eat it and waste it,
I would not buy it either.
Exactly. Exactly.
Those berries, they'd be molding fast.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can't afford that.
What else? I've tried cottage cheese, but that's my new favorite thing. I eat cottage cheese all the time.
Okay, so you gotta dip the chips in cottage cheese.
And
that's a great idea.
I would do.
I was gonna say Bombay spice would probably be good on cottage cheese.
So good, so good. Because like that's how I usually end up eating a whole.
Wow.
Like the large bag, which is a single serving, to be like.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I eat that. Yeah.
Good to know because my favorite brewery now carries the large bags, and I hesitated because I was like, I'm gonna eat that whole thing. So single serving, now I'm good.
Yeah, now you can eat the whole thing if you want to. Okay.
We're fine.
Per person, duh.
Yeah. What's the future looking like for the chips? Are we going for a new flavor? Are we trying to expand and put it in more stores? What's going on?
All of the above. So we are planning to expand a lot. We're almost in 80 stores now. We hope to be nationwide. We are launching more flavors. We are launching more product. We see a brand here, so we want to expand across multiple categories and be able to create a lot of different kind of avenues where you can try cultural.
Nice.
Things. Yeah.
Love that. 80 is a lot. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you're busy. My girlfriend that lives in South Carolina, one of our favorite things to do, she's a big chip girl, is we do anytime we see a different flavor of chip, buy it and do a chip taste test. So I'm going there this month. So I texted her and I was like, I'm going to have to sneak some chips in my luggage your way. So I'm bringing them to her. I was going to say, we know, so you are tell everybody what you're going to do the 10K dressed as this year. And then tell us a little bit behind the scenes, how costume construction is going.
So because I'm not normal, I'm like, in case I wasn't a parent already, I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there. We are making a chip bag costume.
Okay.
It is in the works right now. It's very heavy. So please God help me. Yeah, because it's like partially it's done, and just partially, I had to like tape like 3 different types of like Scotch tape to get it to just stay on.
Yeah,
it's that heavy. So I don't know how I'm gonna walk the whole thing with that, but yeah, we'll see.
It's like a weighted vest, but chips.
Yeah,
you're just really going to be getting it.
But all chips, yeah.
So are we one big bag of chips?
No, we're multiple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Multiple chips.
There might be a little sampling happening on course.
You could totally walk behind me with like a little knife or a scissor and cut the bag open and just take chips out of my costume.
Yeah, just open all of them before.
Cameron's gonna be chasing you down on the course while she's out there now.
Come here. Yeah.
Let me get one.
Let me just get one. Yeah. Totally game for that. Yeah. You can just walk behind me.
And your husband is gonna be Captain Chip. What does that entail?
We made him a cape. We made him all kinds of stuff, and he's such a goofy guy. So he's like, I'll also wear the other costume and just be one whole Chip guy. I'm like, no. I love you, but no, let's just divide and conquer here.
That's a lot. That's too much going on.
I know.
I love Captain Chip. That's so
Yeah.
Yeah. He was also a stand-up comedian for 10 years, so he's also
Cool.
very crazy. Like, he's happy to pull these stunts
Right.
and really enjoys them. So watch out. Yeah.
Has your daughter gotten into Chip construction of the costume at all, or not really?
She
Playing
wants
with Barbies in the background.
she wants to wear it, and
Okay.
it's bigger than her. So I'm like, well, you kind of not gonna fit. But she just doesn't. She's like, what are you people doing? What is going on? What is going on here? So
Very interesting.
I don't know.
She
She's
could
very
be baby Chip.
Yeah, she could be Baby Chip.
I know if kids could walk with us, we would totally make her the little bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little bag.
The little bag would be adorable. Has your husband done the 10K with you in the past and walked it as well? Okay.
I have forced him every time.
Love that. It's way more fun with friends and family. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody to yap with.
Yeah, especially now that you're wearing a costume, and now you're like, now I'm wearing a costume. Now you're wearing a costume.
Yeah.
Now he's having fun. Well, like he does it. He signs up begrudgingly. He's like, oh, like fine, but then he has so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see. So yeah.
I feel like that's how everybody is with like
Yes.
any of our events. You're like, oh, that was so tiring. But then you think back, it's like a week later, you're like, oh,
It was
that
so
was
fun.
fun.
Like, I want to do that again.
No, it's so bad. Like, listen, 10K is essential. That definitely one of my favorite tests.
Yeah.
It's just so fun because of the atmosphere, the vibes, the people. Like, just can't beat that.
No, it's great. Do you have any goals for this 10K, or is it just to make it across the finish line in this heavy chip bag?
To not pass out. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
To carry this heavy chip thing
Yeah.
all the way through. God help me. Yeah.
You can't pass out because then it would be just a bunch of crumbs.
Yeah,
Nobody would be
good
able to-
point.
Nobody will be able to taste your chips.
It's not bad. Crumbs are good on top of like the hot dogs and cereal.
Yeah. Oh, hot dogs. I love the way you think. Sandwiches, avocado
loves
toast.
a hot dog.
I love a hot dog. I love a hot dog.
No, this is just a win-win on every front. Like, really.
Yeah. I also saw that your chips have been on top of pizza recently.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was so good. I ate way too much of that. So
Okay.
good.
Secret Squares has a pizza that had her chips on top of it, which I've also been wanting to go to Secret Squares and have not been
Where
yet.
is that?
It's in Churchill, a Detroit style, like a thick pizza situation. I'll show you some pics.
Okay.
We'll be going by the end of the week.
Well, next week we're making our third installment of the flavors, and we're making a butter chicken kind of version. So right after the race, that's what you need to go get.
Are you kidding me? I love butter chicken.
We both love butter chicken, so
Love
that's
butter
gonna be
chicken.
good.
Wow.
My gosh,
Living for
when
the
is
butter
when
chicken
is that
chips.
going to be out in stores and at places?
Oh no, I don't know.
Okay,
You gotta
This
send
is
us
just
some.
for the weekend.
You gotta
Yeah.
drop some off at our office because I gotta get some of those.
we'll have to go get some. Is it going to be, or the butter chicken? Is it going to be on pizza?
Yes.
Okay, we should get a pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, we should get a pizza and share it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mm,
I love
okay.
that idea. Or get
Well,
two, not share it.
You no, don't share. What is share?
Yeah, they are smaller pizzas. They could be single serving pizzas.
Again, single serving only. That's the only way I look at food. This is a
Yeah.
single serving. Period. Yeah. You can't tell
Mm.
me that this is 6 servings. Like, that's rude.
No, you could have a bite.
Yeah. Wow, I'm excited now.
I was gonna say I feel like something that I love about your story is that you make it sound really accessible for people. Like, it is not like you're saying, go out there and sprint across the finish line,
Right.
go out there and try to PR. What would you say to somebody who hasn't done a race like this or hasn't done the 10K and is on the fence about it?
Oh man, it's such a good question. Take it from somebody who didn't even know what a 10K was,
Right.
had never heard of such a thing in their life. And it is the initial thought is scary to do something like that, but it is so within reach.
Yeah.
And the beauty of the 10K is that there are different waves you can sign up for. So you're not a runner if you're like, it meets you where you are.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the 10K. So you just have to show up. That's it. In whatever shape you're in, it doesn't matter. You can do it.
Yeah, that's my absolute favorite thing about being out there on race day is it really is for everyone. And I think getting that messaging out there is just so important because there are people who just still think they can't do it. And you definitely can. And it doesn't matter what time you cross. It doesn't everybody is still out there. Everybody is so supportive. It's a very inclusive atmosphere.
Yeah. I'm in a group chat, like a girls group chat where everybody's like working out, and somebody in there was like, "Hey guys, I just signed up for the 10K." I was like, "No way!" And then my cousin was like, "I was thinking about it, but I can't do it because I'd have to walk most of it, and the race would end before I finished." And I was like, "No." I said, "I promise you, it will not." I said, "We're out there.
The party's still going."
Yeah, I said, "It won't end. I promise."
Listen, I'll tell you a quick funny story because I walked the one that I walked last. I was probably the last person to cross the line because I was so slow. I'm pretty sure I was like second to last. Like there was some like old dude, it's probably my husband behind me. So and you get the medal regardless, which is so like, I'm like, what? There's a medal? So funny story. My daughter, who saw the medal, in her little brain thinks that I won the race.
Yes.
And everywhere she went, she's like, my mommy won the race, and I'm like. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Hype woman right there. I love that. Yeah.
You're like, yes, I did.
I did. She's right. You can't argue with her.
No, you can't say, what are you going to say to a 4-year-old,
Right.
So everywhere we went, grocery store, restaurant, anywhere, she's like, did you know my mommy won the 10K? And they're like, okay. Sure,
okay.
like, so funny.
Like, yeah, she got a medal.
Thank you.
Yeah. I did hear about that.
Yeah.
On the news, actually. Thank you.
So yeah, just and she still thinks that it's so just because I had a medal, and in her brain you get a medal when you're first, second, third, or whatever.
Obviously,
of course I was first.
Yeah, let's keep it going. She can think you won twice this year.
Yeah, get that medal this year, and then you won again.
She's gonna feel so betrayed when she grows up. She's like, "What?
She'll
be like, wait,
participation medal?" Here.
She's like the angry older dad at a soccer game for kids or something that's like, not everybody wins.
I can just see her in therapy now, like my mother.
I was about to say, one time I really thought that my mom won the race.
Yeah.
Now I never want to see another medal.
Can you unpack that?
Yeah. Let's unpack that. Your hatred for medals.
She's gonna be walking the 10K out of spite. She's like, I'm going to show her.
Yeah, I'm gonna win now.
Yeah, how to win.
Maybe she'll train up. And this will really start her to do that, to be the real winner.
That's exactly what we wanted. Get everybody up and running.
Yeah. This is maybe the hardest part of the podcast for you now is we do this or that, which are 3 rapid fire questions where you can only pick one.
I have my first.
Okay,
one.
you go first.
Okay. My first one, this or that. Bombay spice or black salt?
Dude, Bombay spice. Oh, I hate this question. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it was an easy pick, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, that is your OG. That's what made you start the chips. So
that's the one. Yep.
I get it.
Yeah, okay. That was good. That was also my question.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen when you asked it. All right, but I have one. You were very invested in both. If you had to pick just one for the rest of forever, sweet or savory?
Savory.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm on savory as well. I don't know.
I'm a very good mix. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's this or that, right? The question is this or that. Yeah.
I know, right.
Yeah. I'm surprised by that though, just with you saying all the sugar culturally and then also that just owning a cake business.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
you can do more with savory in my opinion.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know. I feel like the older you get, the saltier you get.
Yes.
And it just kind of vibes with you more.
Yes. You just need more salt to replenish all that salt that you're giving out. Yeah. 100%. I feel that way too all the time.
Yes,
so does my husband also feels that way about me. So
exactly. That's the only explanation I have for that.
Yes.
Okay. So this is like, I don't know, a question that I would ask myself because I like to bake, but I know it's very different when you're baking for somebody and like giving it to people, and then you're baking just to have it at your house. Which one do you prefer doing?
What, baking for somebody or baking for myself?
Right.
Oh, for myself all day long.
For yourself, really? Yeah. See, yeah. I would prefer to bake for somebody because I feel like every time I do bake something,
that I'm
like, oh, I'll just leave this at the house, I never eat it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, it's not because I want to eat it. It's the therapy that goes into baking in general.
Right.
So whether somebody else eats it or I eat it, and I'm a chronic feeder. Like if you, I'm always feeding people around me. Like people always putting on weight when they live around me. It's just how it is. But it's the therapeutic nature of baking, regardless of what happens to it afterwards.
Right.
That's what I mean, I guess. Because for me, baking for somebody is a business thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
that
sense.
makes
But
sense.
here, it's a more personal thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I will say, like you said, it's like a therapeutic thing. When I started baking, it definitely taught me patience because I had like zero. But you have no choice but to wait when you're baking, so you gotta like you
Same.
have to.
Yeah,
So,
you
yeah.
have to.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Lots of
Yeah.
lessons in that, I feel like. Lots of life lessons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bake everybody.
Bake and then do the 10K.
Yeah,
Sad.
bake a cookie
Bake a cookie, do the 10K, eat the cookies while you're doing the 10K.
and grab
Yes.
some chips.
And then grab some chips for your
Grab some
post celebration.
Find me and then either grab them off of me or go to the stores and find them afterwards.
grab them off of me.
Perfect. Love that.
Perfect.
Well, we cannot wait to see you at the 10K. And now that everybody knows what you're going to be dressed as, I'm sure you're going to be a heavily popular
Yeah,
participant
gonna
out
be
there.
spotted.
But tell everybody before we go where they can find all things Candy Valley and Keya Snack.
Okay, Candy Valley, you have to reach out to us directly on our email. That's candyvalleykeiko@gmail. For KS Snacks, we're in 80 stores in Richmond. You can find them in all the greatest hits: Ella Thompson's, Yellow Umbrella, Stella's, Good Foods Grocery, Hardywood, BMFA, Perk and Bonaire, Fine Creek, everywhere. You can also buy them online. We ship nationwide on www.kssnacks.com.
Good to know.
Yeah, they're also in some vending machines. They're in VCU now at the Ram Pantry store. All the kids can go get them. I call them kids. They're not kids. Is that right? I don't even know.
No, I think kids is right. Yeah.
Kids.
I never know. I'm like, am I being politically incorrect?
No, you're good.
But yeah, they're everywhere. And then what else? Yeah, more to come.
Great. We can't wait. And we'll be on the lookout for the butter chicken pizza.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed talking to you. And everybody, you still have time to register for the 10K. We know it's Thursday. You can still register, come to the expo, get your bib. There's still plenty of time. So be there. Don't miss out. Come get chips from Keya. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was so fun. The best half hour I've had. Thank you.
Good. Thanks.
you.
Us too. Well, we can't wait to see you on race day. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.